The last golden crumb. The scent hit Leo before he even reached the end of the block. It was a thick, sweet cloud of vanilla and toasted cinnamon that seemed to hug the afternoon air. It was the smell of Mrs. Harper's kitchen, a place where magic happened in the form of flour and sugar. Leo hurried his pace, his red sneakers clicking against the sidewalk, wondering if today would be the day he finally got a treat as big as his appetite. As he reached the house with the white picket fence, the front door creaked open. There stood Mrs. Harper, her face crinkling into a familiar, gentle smile. In her hands, she held a small ceramic plate. "I timed these just for your walk home, Leo," she said, her voice as soft as a lullaby. She held the plate out, revealing 3 perfectly round, golden brown cookies. Leo took the plate, but his heart sank just a little. The cookies were small, hardly bigger than the palm of his hand. He thought of the monster melts at the bakery downtown, which were as large as dinner plates and oozing with chocolate. He looked down at the humble treats and felt a prickle of disappointment. He had been so helpful all week, surely he deserved something more substantial? "Come, sit for a moment," Mrs. Harper suggested, gesturing to the wicker chairs on the porch. She sat down with a tired but contented sigh. "It's a beautiful evening to just be still, don't you think?" Leo sat beside her, the plate resting on his lap. He felt a bit guilty for his thoughts, but he couldn't help but compare these small circles to the giant snacks his friends always posted about online. Leo picked up the first cookie. It was warm, and the chocolate chips were still slightly melty. He took a bite, and the flavor exploded, rich, buttery, and deeply comforting. It was delicious, arguably the best thing he'd ever tasted, but as he swallowed, a greedy thought persisted. If they're this good, he thought, why couldn't there be a dozen of them? Why just 3 small ones? Just as Leo was reaching for the second cookie, a figure appeared on the sidewalk. It was Silas, a man from 3 streets over who often spent his days tidying the local park for no pay at all. Silas looked exhausted. His clothes were dusty, and he walked with a heavy, slow gait. He paused by Mrs. Harper's gate, wiping sweat from his forehead with a handkerchief. Mrs. Harper watched Silas for a long moment, her eyes full of a deep, quiet understanding. She looked down at the plate on Leo's lap, where 2 cookies remained. Leo saw her gaze and instinctively pulled the plate a fraction closer. He had already finished one. He was still hungry. He didn't want to share his special treat. "Silas!" Mrs. Harper called out gently. The man turned, surprised. Mrs. Harper stood up and reached for the very last cookie on Leo's plate. Leo froze as she walked to the gate. "You look like you've had a long day, Silas. Please, take this. It's fresh from the oven." She handed him the golden treat, her gesture full of grace. Silas took the cookie as if it were made of solid gold. "Oh, Mrs. Harper," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "You have no idea. I haven't had a chance to stop for lunch today. This is more than enough. Thank you." He took a small bite, and a look of pure, radiant joy washed over his face. He looked at the single cookie as if it were a feast. Leo looked at the 1 cookie left on his plate. Suddenly, it didn't look small at all. He realized that while he was busy wishing for more, Silas was finding everything he needed in enough. Mrs. Harper sat back down and patted Leo's hand. Leo smiled, picked up his last cookie, and savored it slowly. He realized then that the size of the gift didn't matter. It was the warmth it left in your heart.